The light appears way better. This should work out good. This is Chapter 4, Watership Down. This is for you, Shannon Ann. Now, sir. Oh, it's called the departure, yes. Now, sir, young Fortinbras of unimproved metal, hot and full, hath in the skirts of Norway here and there sharked up a list of lawless resolutes for food and diet to some enterprise that hath a stomach in it. Shakespeare, Hamlet. And I do believe he's saying that because they're taking all the undesirables, the outskirters and stuff, not the Ausla. They're taking a bunch of people, a bunch of rabbits that they don't really care about. They just take up resources, and they're moving them off on this venture, this enterprise that hath a stomach in it, because they're pretty sure they're all going to get gobbled up by it, and it don't really matter. I believe that's what he means. Fu inlay means after moonrise. Oh, it wasn't fast at all. Or it wasn't quick. It was after moonrise. Fu inlay means after moonrise. Rabbits, of course, have no idea of practice time, of precise time, or of punctuality. In this respect, they are much the same as primitive people, who often take several days over assembling for some purpose, and then several more to get started. Before such people can act together, a kind of telepathic feeling has to flow through them and ripen to the point when they all know that they are ready to begin. Anyone who has seen the martins and swallows in September assembling on the telephone wires, twittering, making short flights singly and in groups over the open stubbly fields, returning to form longer and even longer lines above the yellowing verges of the lanes, the hundreds of individual birds merging and blending in a mounting excitement into swarms of these swarms coming loosely and untidily together to create a great unorganized flock, thick at the center and ragged at the edges, which breaks and reforms continually like clouds or waves, until that moment when the greater part, but not all, of them know that the time has come, they are off, and have begun once more the great southward flight which many will not survive. Anyone seeing this has seen at work the current that flows among creatures who think of themselves primarily as part of a group and only secondarily, if at all, as individuals, to fuse them together and impel them into action without conscious thought or will. Has seen at work the angel which drove the first crusade into Antioch and drives the lemmings into the sea. It was actually about an hour after moonrise and a good while before midnight when Hazel and Fiver once more came out of their burrow behind the brambles and slipped quietly along the bottom of the ditch. With them was a third rabbit, H-L-A-O. I don't know how to say a H before a L, so I'm going to call him Leo. Pipkin. Oh, Pipkin, a friend of Fiver. Leo means any small concavity in the grass where moisture may collect. Example, the dimple formed by a dandelion or thistle cup. He too was small and inclined to be timid, and Hazel and Fiver had spent the greater part of their last evening in the warren in persuading him to join them. Pipkin had agreed rather hesitantly. He still felt extremely nervous about what might happen once they left the warren, and had decided that the best way to avoid trouble would be to keep close to Hazel and do exactly what he said. The three were still in the ditch when Hazel heard a movement above. He looked up quickly. "Who's there?" he said. "Dandelion?" "No, I'm Hawkbit," said the rabbit, who was peering over the edge. He jumped down among them, landing rather heavily. "Do you remember me, Hazel? We were in the same burrow during the snow last winter. Dandelion told me you were going to leave the warren tonight. If you are, I'll come with you." Hazel could recall Hawkbit, a rather slow, stupid rabbit, whose company for 5 snowbound days underground had been distinctly tedious. Still, he thought, this was no time to pick and choose. Although Bigwig might succeed in talking one or two, most of the rabbits they could expect to join them would not come from the Ausla. They would be outskirters who were getting